I am Deanne Rinstra, General Counsel for Lottery and Charitable Bingo for the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation. Chairman Figueroa, are
Yes,
you
good
there?
morning. Yes, can
Yes,
you hear
good
me?
morning. Would you please delegate authority to Commissioner Draksharam to open the meeting, please?
Absolutely. Dr. Shram, you have authority to open the meeting.
Thank you, Chair. It's about 1:01, and as a presiding officer, I hereby call this meeting to receive public comments on the proposed new rule at 16 Texas Administrative Code Section 60.39 to order. I'm going to call on Diane Rinston to make introductory statements.
Thank you, Commissioner. I welcome each of you to this public comment hearing on proposed new Rule 16, Texas Administrative Code, Chapter 60, Procedural Rules of the Commission and Department, Section 6039, Verification of Applicant Eligibility. Please silence your cell phones and electronic devices. Also, as a courtesy to others, please do not engage in side conversations and be respectful not to talk over the designated speaker while you are in the room. Joining us online today is Chairman Rick Figueroa, Commissioner Tom Butler, Commissioner Dr. Gary Wesson, and Commissioner Sujith Draksharam, who is present on the dais today. Commissioners, thank you for joining. Also on the dais with me today is our Executive Director, Courtney Arbour, Chief of Staff, Susanna Holt-Gutron, Licensing and Regulatory Deputy Executive Director, Steve Bruno, and Lottery and Charitable Bingo Interim Deputy Executive Director, Sergio Ray. Thank you for being here today. The Department and Commission appreciate all participation and comments that will be given in this rulemaking process. The proposed new rule would establish a licensure or license renewal under Title 8, Chapter 14 of the United States Code, which restricts eligibility for professional and commercial licenses based on the applicant's citizenship or immigration status. The new Rule 16, Texas Administrative Code, Section 6039, is proposed under the Texas Occupations Code, Section 51.201 and 51.203, which authorize the Texas Commission of Licensing and Regulation, the department's governing body, to adopt rules as necessary to implement Texas Occupations Code, Chapter 51, and each law establishing a program regulated by the department, and Title 8, United States Code, Chapter 14, which provides eligibility requirements for a professional or commercial license and authorizes states to require an applicant to provide proof of eligibility. The proposed new rule was published in the Texas Register on January 23, 2026. This public hearing is part of the rulemaking process to receive public comment on this proposed new rule. All timely received public comments will be presented to the department by the department to the commission at a future commission meeting when considering adoption of the proposed new rule. A few instructions for this public comment hearing. Anyone who wishes to comment on the proposed new rule needs to fill out a public comment form and submit it to the staff at the sign-in table. When speaking, please state your name and whether you are speaking on behalf of an organization or for yourself as an individual. This information is necessary to properly record your comments. Please speak clearly and slowly. Do not speak over others, and please ask permission to speak from me to be sure that you are recognized before speaking. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes, and time allotted to one speaker will not be reassigned to another speaker. We do have a Spanish interpreter available, and additional time will be provided to those using the interpreter. The limit will be 6 minutes total to allow time for translation. To assist the speaker, a timer is provided at the speaker table. The first 2.5 minutes will be green, yellow for the next 30 seconds, and red when the time is up. Comments should be relevant to the proposed new rule. Any interested person may appear and offer comments or statements, either orally or in writing. However, questioning of commenters will be reserved exclusively to the department staff, as may be necessary to ensure a complete record. While any person with relevant comments or statements will be granted an opportunity to present them during this hearing, the department reserves the right to further restrict statements in terms of time or repetitive comment. Organizations, associations, or groups are encouraged to present their commonly held views or similar comments through a representative member when possible. I will call 4 speakers to the table at a time. When I call your name, please come to the front table and have a seat until you are recognized to speak. Our goal today is to hear your perspectives and experiences. Agency representatives will not be responding to your comments today, but know that input will be considered as we developed this rule. The first 4 speakers that I am going to call: Cynthia Hernandez, Jessica Palacios, Monica Andre, and Luis A. Rodriguez. Please come to the front table. Ms. Hernandez?
Yes,
may
ma'am.
begin. Be sure to turn on your mic. It'll be green.
Okay. My name is Cynthia Hernandez, representing Sleeping Beauty Lash Institute. We have a legitimate concern about the measure recently regarding the legal presence requirements for those who are already participating or working within the programs authorized by the agency itself. Thousands of people were encouraged to train, obtain license, meet technical and health professional standards. This policy allows workers to integrate in formal economy, paying taxes, generating employment, and contributing to the economic development of the state. The model allowed thousands of professionals to practice legally, generating employment for assistants, administrative staff, suppliers, and more. Today, the new requirements threaten to break the institutional trust. We are not just talking about administrative procedures. We are talking about families, small businesses, workers who trusted the rules in force when they invested their training. We will see closure of establishments in shopping centers, leaving empty spaces and affecting the economy, loss of direct and indirect jobs, reduction in tax collection affecting public programs, impact in supply chains and demand on businesses. Also, if these professionals are preventing from working within regulated framework, they will simply be forced to work outside the systems without a license. That would mean less control, fewer professional standards, less protection for the public. This is exactly the opposite of what regulation is guaranteed. Therefore, our intention is not to question the authority of the agency. On the contrary, we seek a reasonable balanced solution. First, the new requirement can be applied for new registrations, avoiding retroactive actions. Second, the license is issued under the rules in force at the time of fully recognized, preserving the legal certainty. Third, allow students currently enrolled in reasonable period of 18 months to complete the process under the rules with which they began their training. This does not weaken the law. This strengthens interest conference. When people work within the system, society wins. There's more control, more security, more employment, and more economic growth. We trust that it will also spirit the guides of solution to this challenge. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Jessica Palacios?
Hi, good afternoon, Chair and Commissioners. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today. My name is Jessica Palacios, and I serve as the Director of Government Affairs at the San Antonio Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, representing over 900 member businesses, and also an active member of the Texas Hispanic Chamber of Commerce of Coalition, who you'll hear from later this afternoon. The San Antonio Hispanic Chamber of Commerce works closely with small businesses and licensed professionals across Central and South Texas. Many of the individuals affected by this role are entrepreneurs, skilled trades professionals, and micro business owners who have spent years meeting the training, testing, and regulatory requirements established by the state of Texas. These professionals operate in industries that our communities depend on every day: electrical work, heating and air conditioning, cosmetology services, building inspections, and other licensed professions that ensure safety. In San Antonio and across Central Texas, we're experiencing significant population growth and infrastructure expansion. Major development in housing, construction, and commercial investments rely heavily on licensed electricians, HVAC technicians, and other regulated professionals. When workforce participation in these trades become uncertain, the impact extend beyond individual workers. Small businesses face project delays, costs rise for consumers, and local economic development slows. Our coalition's goal is not just to challenge the importance of the regulatory standards, but rather it is to ensure that the changes are implemented thoughtfully with clear guidance and structured transitions that prevent unintended disruption to the skilled workforce that Texas relies on. Texas businesses depend on clarity, stability, and a regulatory environment that supports both public safety and economic growth. Thank you for the opportunity to share our perspective today.
Thank you. Monica Andre?
Thank you. Buenas tardes, Commissioners. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak with you this afternoon. My name is Monica Munoz Andre, President and CEO of the Greater Austin Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Our organization represents employers and licensed professionals across Central Texas working in industries regulated by TDLR, including construction, personal services, and health-related professions. We fully respect the state's responsibility to ensure lawful licensure and regulatory compliance. Our comments today focus on workforce stability, economic continuity, and regulatory clarity. Texas is experiencing sustained population growth and strong economic expansion, yet many skilled trades and licensed professionals are already facing workforce shortages. These industries, as mentioned before, are electricians, HVAC technicians, cosmetologists, and others, and are essential to housing development, small business operations, healthcare services, and infrastructure projects across the state. Our concern is not in circumventing the law. It is about ensuring that these individuals who have followed the current regulatory process, completed training, passed examinations, and paid licensing fees are not unintentionally removed from the workforce due to documentation changes. Many individuals who file taxes using the I-10 do so in order to comply with federal tax law, and I-10 alone does not indicate unlawful presence, and it should not result in the inability to renew certifications for professionals who have otherwise met every training and regulatory requirement. We respectfully encourage the Commission to consider a thoughtful implementation approach, including a workforce impact analysis, a transition or a grandfathering period for currently licensed professionals, and clear documentation guidance that allows the agency to verify lawful participation without creating sudden workforce disruption or a chilling effect on our community. Tech economic strength depends on a stable, licensed, and regulated workforce. Thoughtful implementation can uphold regulatory standards while protecting the economy's continuity and the welfare that our industry depends on. I appreciate the time that you've given us to state our opinion. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Rodriguez?
Thank you, commissioners, and I really appreciate the opportunity to give comments today. My name is Luis Rodriguez. I serve as the chair of the Texas Hispanic Chamber of Commerce Coalition, and my full-time job is the president and CEO of the San Antonio Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. The Hispanic Chamber of Commerce Coalition is a network of chambers with more than over 10,000 businesses, ranging from small, locally owned businesses to large employers across our great state of Texas. Our members operate communities spanning from the Rio Grande Valley to El Paso, Coastal Bend, Central Texas, and North Texas. We recognize and respect the state's responsibility to maintain strong licensing standards and to uphold a lawful regulatory process. Professional licensing plays an important role in protecting public safety, maintaining quality standards, and preserving consumer confidence across the industries. At the same time, Texas' economic strength depends on a stable and qualified workforce. The proposed change could affect nearly 21,000 active certifications, more than 40 regulated professions. Many have been named here before, but I do want to remind the commissioners, HVAC is critical. It is hot in Texas. We need those workers to take care of our residents and our businesses. These professions are not only workers, they are small business owners, job creators, and skilled tradespeople who help our community functioning every day. Many of these individuals have invested years of training, examinations, and regulatory compliance to meet Texas's licensing standards. They have built businesses, created jobs, and served their communities under these rules that currently govern their professions. Texas is already experiencing workforce shortages in many skilled trades and technical professions. Any regulatory change that could unintentionally remove experienced professionals from the workforce deserve very careful review. Disruption across these sectors could carry significant economic consequences. Our coalition estimates that the potential economic impact could exceed nearly $1 billion in the first year alone, driven by workforce shortages, project delays, and increased compliance costs that ultimately affect businesses and consumers. For these reasons, our coalition respectfully encourages the Commission to carefully consider workforce stability, structured transition periods, clear documentation, and compliance guidelines as a part of this rulemaking process. Texas' continued economic strength depends on the regulatory clarity, economic predictability, and maintaining participation in our licensed workforce. We appreciate the opportunity to participate in this discussion and stand ready to work constructively with the Commission to ensure that any regulatory changes protect both public safety and Texas economic competitiveness. Let's not do anything that puts Texas backwards and being the great state to open a business and do business in. We love the great state of Texas because we're a business-friendly state. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next four speakers will be Larissa Davila, Martin Valdivia, Martha Cotera, and Linda Del Toro. We'll start with Ms. Davila.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to providing commentary on this proposed change. I am here as a business consultant. I work on a yearly basis with thousands of business owners. And I'm just thinking for the Texas economy, I believe that if, so as it is, not taking into consideration the people that are studying right now at local community colleges and local schools, the people that already have a license that are going to be affected are 8,382 professionals. Just in the city of Austin, it's going to be 522 professionals that are going to lose the ability to bring an income to their households. They will have to default on the commercial contracts that they have as cosmetologists and estheticians. They're no longer going to be able to pay for insurance in the state of Texas. They're no longer going to be able to pay sales taxes on the products that they purchase to operate. And they're no longer going to be able to employ and train the Texas workforce. Just to give you an example, I have worked with a esthetician. She does hair, and she has had for 18 years a salon with 6 chairs, out of which she uses one, and the others 5 are used to train U.S. citizens so that they improve on their trade and go on to open other salons. I wonder if other professionals are doing the same thing, trying to train the Texas the Texas residents and teaching them how to improve on their trade. She also is a sponsor for Any Baby Any Baby Can, the Safe Alliance, and other local churches giving out of her income to the Texas economy. And I believe that is what makes Texas great. And then taking into consideration the deficits that we have for HVAC technicians, it is expected that we have a 21% increase in the need or HVAC technicians in the state of Texas by 2030. And if we remove these professionals that we already have working and the experience that they bring into the economy to train other apprentices, then how strained is our economy going to be? For electricians, we will need 10,000 more by 2030. If we remove these technicians from our workforce, then how are we going to be able to sustain the need that we have for data centers? We're going to need the HVAC professionals and electricians to work on the chillers that keep the AI data centers running. How would this impact our economy? So because of commercial real estate, because of insurance, because of what is going to happen to these households when they lose their ability to work, and what is going to happen to the people that they employ, the administrators, the bookkeepers, the assistants, all of those people will be affected by this rule change. So thank you for the opportunity to provide my statement, and please consider how our economy would be tremendously affected by this change.
Thank you. Mr. Valdivia?
Okay. Sorry, my name is Martin. Mi English es little bit. ¿Hay alguien que me,
Limited.
que me traduzca?
He's wondering if we have an interpreter for him.
Okay.
Yes, we do. We have Mr. Jose Cano, if you would like to go. Oh, okay, go on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. No venía preparado para esto.
Sí, no se preocupe.
Okay. Soy dueño de una academia.
So I am the owner of an academy,
Y tengo varios negocios que es de belleza.
and I have several beauty salons that I own.
Y nos está afectando la economía de la manera de que todo el mundo tenemos una oportunidad, ¿verdad? Tenemos tener una oportunidad.
And that's affecting all of us, right? As far as from an economic perspective, because each and every one of us has an opportunity.
Y voy a hablar con el corazón en la mano.
And I'm going to speak to you with my heart on my shirt here.
Es muy triste todo lo que está pasando.
It's on. It's on.
Es muy triste todo lo que está pasando porque muchos estudiantes de los míos ya tiraron la toalla en lo de la belleza.
It's really sad to see because a lot of my students have just really thrown in the towel and given up.
Y ellos vinieron con el afán de que somos gente trabajadora y tenemos la oportunidad, primeramente Dios, de estudiar para sobresalir en nuestros gastos en un buen futuro en el ramo de la belleza.
And so it's really sad for us because a lot of them have come with this idea that they can get into the field of, just of beauty in general and of beautification and use that study there and put that forward and use it to be able to pay bills, have a good future, and really flourish in that industry.
Yo tengo mi negocio más de un año y hemos invertido todo pues nuestros ahorros en ese proyecto porque vimos que era un potencial que podíamos darle la oportunidad a gente trabajadora de agarrar un buen estudio para crear su futuro, para que alimenten sus familias.
And so it's been over a year now that we've been investing a lot of our own savings actually in giving the opportunity for a lot of others to be able to come up, learn in this field, study, and then use that studying and those abilities to be able to pay their bills and create a better future for themselves and their families.
Y yo sé que eso no está en nuestras manos, ya es decisión de cómo lo vayan a tomar, pero que sí nos tomen en consideración a la comunidad hispana.
And I know that that's not in our hands to do anything with, right? That's in y'all's hands, of course. But I'd just like to ask you to take that into consideration and take into consideration the Hispanic community and how it affects us.
Y nos está afectando porque a la mayoría de mis trabajadores, tengo más de 25 trabajadores, y no hay ni qué es lo que va a pasar, porque cómo van a sustentar sus familias. Si en el mundo de la belleza es todo lo que se han ellos capacitado para su futuro.
And it's affected a lot of my workers, right? I have over 25 workers that are wondering what's going to happen in the foreseeable future. Whether or not the industry of being a beautician or just working in any kind of structure or in within that industry, rather to say, if there's even a place for growth there, if they even have the capacity to continue in that.
Y pues estoy por terminado porque no venía preparado. Muchas gracias por escucharme y mi inglés no es muy bueno. Muy amable por todo. Gracias por todo.
And I apologize, my English is not really great. I wasn't really prepared to give a statement or anything, but thank you for giving me the opportunity to be able to speak. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Cotero?
Uh, Good afternoon. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to comment on this very, very, very important change that is being proposed, which as a member of the Latina Policy Coalition, a statewide organization, we oppose for many reasons. We all recall what happened to our car insurance rates when undocumented immigrants were no longer allowed to take the test and get legal insurance that, by the way, Governor Rick Perry was supportive of. And the same thing is about to happen. This is an option that you have. Our understanding from consultation with our Senator Sarah Eckert is that this is an option that you have that is not mandatory. And as promoters of states' rights, I think that that this is something that you ought to seriously reconsider. We're very concerned about the impact that the tariffs are already having on small businesses and on families that are middle class and low income working families. And this is going to do the very same thing. The only way that Texans can afford right now to maintain our properties, if we're middle class or working class, is to have qualified registered professionals that charge us affordable rates in order to repair our appliances and to restore our homes. And you're getting ready to take that away from us. And as far as we see it, it's another way of extracting from the small business community, because it's going to impact the small business community and the middle class and the working class upwards, like the tariffs, to the big companies. And so this will be seen by the Texas community at large as an extraction, again, making things more difficult and more expensive for us, while the billionaires in Texas grow and grow, and the big companies grow and charge us whatever they want to charge us for services. So we want you and urge you to support local communities, especially rural communities that already have very limited resources, by allowing the industry as we have it today, which has been operating fine because people are qualified and they're going along with according to the regulations. So nobody's out of step with what you're requiring, and there's absolutely no reason other than I don't even know what to call it. I don't even want to call it. You decide what it is. So we urge you to reconsider that we're already suffering a lot of deficits in terms of the numbers of tradespeople that we have operating in our cities and rural communities. The proposed changes are definitely going to afford the skilled workforce training that we have in place here in Austin, Texas, where local taxpayers are investing in this, and we want the skilled workers to be trained properly, but to be able to get registered so that all their training that they're undergoing and have been undergoing for years is not going to go to waste. Anecdotally, just this morning, I was speaking to a couple of families that are basically just
Ma'am.
waiting for this decision, and they're
Ms.
saying, "Hey,
Gutierrez?
I got family in Alabama.
Your
I've
time
got
is up,
family
ma'am.
elsewhere, and I can just move." Um, just one more thing, please, at a minimum, uh, let us do the economic analysis before you go forward with this. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Del Toro?
Um, my name Linda Del Toro. I represent LULAC, District 12 here in Austin, Texas. And the reason I'm here to speak is because LULAC historically, since it was created in 1928, has been the mission of the League of United American Citizens to advance the economic condition, educational attainment, political influence, house affordability, health, and civil rights of the Hispanic population of the United States. We are opposed to the changes proposed by the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation, TDLR to 16 TAC Chapter 60, requiring proof of legal presence and work authorization for individuals seeking a professional license from TDLR. Our reasons are, obviously, we recognize that this will be very, very detrimental to our, specifically to our Hispanic population, because as you've had ample information here stated, they have very involved in small businesses, small trade, and this definitely can hurt them. This is not something that is mandatory. This is something that you can change because there's plenty of evidence and information that shows that this passage will be detrimental. Historically, especially from my experience as a real estate broker, people that want to start citizenship start to apply, use an EIN number to apply, to submit their taxes to the IRS, because this is their path. Number one is to become a citizen, and legally they have a right to purchase a property, a residential, any property using their EIN number. So this again cuts them. And we feel this is a direct assault on our community because the economic base is what people use to, obviously, to sustain their livelihood. And when you cut that, you limit all their other opportunities, educational advancement, cultural and legacy. For these reasons, and historically, we in Texas have consider ourselves very invested in the legacy of Tejano Mexicanos here in Texas. Since the beginning of Texas, Texas became part of the United States in 1848. We feel historically we have a greater investment for you to strongly help our people develop economically. And this is a path that will be very detrimental. On behalf of LULAC and the rest of the community that has spoken, we urge you to reconsider this and consider the tremendous negative implications of this action. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. The next four, Mr. J.R. Gonzalez. Iris Yanes. Mr. Castro. And Luis Zepeda. We'll start with Mr. Gonzalez.
Thank you, members. As introduced, my name is J.R. Gonzalez. I represent today TAMAC, the Texas Association of Mexican American Chambers of Commerce, a 50-year-old organization established here for the purpose of commerce, leadership, business development. You know the statistics. I'm not going to regurgitate some of the facts and stuff and the metrics that you've heard before and going to continue to hear. But I want you to look at this, or I ask you to look at this from a different perspective. Right now, the state of Texas is a majority minority state and has been since 2014. We share over 1,200 miles border with Mexico. It's only natural that there's be a lot of people in the state of Texas that are from Mexico. In fact, as we know, Texas was once part of Mexico. As we look at that, with the large number of folks coming in, the fact that a lot of folks provide this very needed workforce, it's going to be very, very difficult for our state to sustain its economic, not its economic credibility, but its economic status if in fact we continually do this. Now, this particular issue, I can't help but question, why is it necessary? Why is it necessary if people are going through every step they need to take to go ahead, to get educated, to get licensed, to pay taxes, to be hardworking individuals, to contribute to this economy and this society? As the national narrative goes, oh, we love the people that are working hard. We just want to get rid of the criminals. And if you come here right. Well, for the people that are trying to come here right and do things, the rules keep changing. You look at the federal level, the national level, when someone go to their court hearing and they have ICE waiting for them. I could have brought a whole room full of people here talking about this and experiencing this firsthand because they're living it. But you know what they were afraid of? Of who'd be waiting for them at that front door. Would law enforcement be there? Would ICE be there? I'm doing the right thing. I can work. I have my papers, but I'm afraid to even show up, especially at something like this. So as we look at that, not only to me is this one thing, it's an overall attack. I mean, we have ICE, mass immigration. We have the HUB program that is now being decertified. We have in-state tuition programs to educate our youth that are being cut. We have a constant attack on many fronts, and this is just, to me, another. I ask and please, is it actually necessary to do this? And can we come up with some sort of solution, whether it be grandfathering, whether it be making some exemptions, whether it be doing something that makes the people that are here actually working, where they can have some degree of security. And please do not think about the things that could occur. If you start taking all these people's licenses away, they have no way to work. This is the trade that they have. Then they're going to create an underground economy that you cannot control because they're not licensed. And you start that, and that's going to create a whole slew of other situations that I'm sure that you're probably aware of. When you start having maverick companies out there and unlicensed people, it's going to create a lot of problems on a lot of different fronts. So as we look at the economics, as we look at the future of the state of Texas, as we look at the work shortage we're already facing, it makes no sense to get rid of a large group of qualified people. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, just in closing, I just thank God that I was born this side of the border. And it wasn't very, very much, maybe a couple hundred yards, but I was born on the U.S. side of the border, or else my whole life would be completely different. We got our neighbors to the south that are just trying to come here. And if they're doing it legally, why do we need to make changes to the law so they're not doing it legally anymore? Makes no sense to me. So I ask you in consideration, please, let's get an economic study. Let's slow the roll on this thing, and let's look at the far-reaching effects it's going to have on the economy and on other human beings.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ms. Yanes?
Excuse me, I need a translate, please.
Okay. We need our interpreter? Yes.
Buenas tardes a todos. Gracias por la oportunidad de dejarnos dar nuestra opinión.
Good afternoon. Hello to all of you, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to let us express our opinions.
Yo solamente quiero hablarles con el corazón.
I only want to speak to you from my heart.
No tengo estadísticas y lo que afectaría tanto económicamente a todas las personas,
I don't have stats or, any information regarding how this would affect people economically.
pero puedo decirles lo que afectaría eh, tal vez a mi vida un poquito y la gente que yo apenas soy estudiante que salí de ahí.
But I can't speak to how it affects both my life and the life of others, right? I have just been studying recently.
Soy egresada de la Escuela de Belleza apenas en diciembre del 2025. Sí.
So I actually just finished beauty school in 2025 in December.
Cumplí todos los requisitos que pide TD Alarm
I fulfilled all the requirements that TDLR requires from me.
y pues solamente estoy en espera de la licencia.
And all I'm waiting on is my license at this point.
Y sé que afectaría no nada más a mí, a tantas personas.
And I know that it would affect not just me, but many people.
Y yo hoy represento los estudiantes
And today I am the individual representing those students
que con esfuerzo, dedicación, quieren salir adelante.
that with great effort and dedication, they just want to come out on top.
Ayer fui a la escuela donde yo terminé mis estudios
Yesterday, I stopped by the school where I finished my studies.
y platiqué con la dueña del lugar
I spoke to the owner there,
y vi su preocupación que ella tiene
and I could notice her visible concern.
y sé todo lo que ella ha trabajado para salir adelante
And I know how hard she's worked to continue moving forward.
y me dio mucha tristeza verla así. No nada más ella, son tantas personas.
And it was really sad to me to see her state, but not just her, a lot of people as well.
Yo solo apenas voy comenzando, pero hay personas que tienen 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 años haciendo esto.
I mean, I'm just getting started, but there's some people that have 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years doing this.
Y querer una vida mejor y salir adelante.
And all they want is to have a better life and to really be successful.
Tengo compañeras que en la escuela yo las escucho porque he estado ahí y trabajan, madre soltera, cortando yardas, un trabajo, 2 trabajos, tantas cosas. Y era una esperanza hacer esto.
So I have a lot of friends and, they tell me things and I listen, right? A lot of people that are working, a lot of single moms, they'll be cutting yards, 1 or 2 yards, and just you hear so many things. And so when I discovered this, I really thought that this was a thing I could hope for.
Y sea cual sea la decisión que ustedes toman hoy, gracias por dejarnos compartir lo que realmente nos preocupa.
And whatever decision it is that you take, that you make in general, I just want to say thank you for letting us share a little bit of what's going on in our lives.
Nosotros queremos hacer las cosas correctamente.
We want to do things the right way.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Castro?
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Luis Cepeda.
Good afternoon. My name is Luis Cepeda.
Soy dueño de 2 escuelas aquí en Austin,
I'm an owner of 2 schools here in Austin.
aproximadamente ya de 3 años,
Going on 3 years approximately now.
y vengo representando no nada más mi escuela, sino todas las escuelas de aquí del estado de Texas.
And I'm not just representing my school, but all the schools here in Texas.
Así como lo dice mi compañera, tenemos varios estudiantes
Just as my colleague says here, that we've got a lot of students
que tienen la esperanza de trabajar legalmente en este país,
that are hopeful that they can be able to work here legally,
cosa que les están quitando esa oportunidad.
which that opportunity is being taken from them.
Eso va a afectar, no va a afectar, esto está afectando
This isn't going to affect, it is affecting
porque ya negocios se están cerrando.
because businesses are beginning to close.
Gente está dejando de ir a laborar a los salones de belleza, a las barberías.
People are they're no longer going to work at the barber shops or at the beautician shops.
Y esto es una cadena que va a afectar mucho la economía de este estado, de este país.
And this is a chain that's going to really start to affect the economy of the state.
Se va a acabar la venta de productos, la renta de sillas, producir de gente trabajadora que quiera hacer las cosas bien.
You're going to stop seeing all the supplies roll in. You're going to stop seeing rentals for a lot of things. And it's going to affect the productivity of the people that would otherwise be working.
Como quiera, la gente va a seguir trabajando.
Of course, in any case, people are going to keep working.
Tienen a sus familias que mantener.
They have families that they have to take care of.
Y lo que se está orillando es a que trabajen ilegalmente.
But what this is forcing them to do is to work illegally.
Y todos ellos tienen la intención de trabajar legalmente porque por eso están estudiando para obtener una licencia.
Where actually, to the contrary, right? Their actual intentions are to work legally, which is why they're investing and doing all the studying.
La gente trabaja duro para poder pagar su escuela.
People work hard to pay for their schooling.
Muchos ya están por terminar y están desanimados, no saben qué hacer porque no van a poder obtener una licencia.
A lot of them are almost finished and they don't really know what to do at this point because they don't know whether or not they're going to get a license.
Espero y reconsideren la situación
I hope you guys reconsider the situation
porque esto va a afectar no nada más a uno, sino a muchas familias.
because this isn't just going to affect one individual, but rather a lot of families.
Muchas gracias por escucharnos.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Sir, would you please restate your name for the record?
Sí, señor, muchas gracias. ¿Y si puede indicar su nombre para el acta una vez más?
Luis Cepeda.
Luis Cepeda.
Thank you, Mr. Zepeda.
Muchas gracias, señor.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Ms. Castro?
Good afternoon, commissioners and everyone in the room. I'm really proud of everyone that has shown up today, even scared to speak to you today on this matter. My name is Majo Castro with Castroland Legal. I'm an attorney speaking today on behalf of all of my clients, and honestly, as well as a resident of the state of Texas, that is highly concerned of where the state is headed today. Most of my clients are Hispanic workers, people who got up every day and did it the right way, at least the right way as of January 22nd of this year, before everything changed. Many of them are building small businesses, and they did all of that with, Social Security numbers and legal presence in the state because it was legally required. It wasn't legally required. Now this rule wants to change everything on them, and I really want to be straightforward with everyone in the room. This doesn't seem to be just merely about public safety anymore, and I'm not going to put a name on it, but a license verifies skills and training, and it shouldn't be checking just an immigration status. And honestly, maybe it never had to. This is just a personal, subjective opinion. My clients are not a risk to consumers. They are consumers themselves as well. They rent shops, they buy supplies, they hire people in the state, and they are woven into the Texas economy. If this rule passes, honestly, the question is what's going to happen to them? They don't disappear. Actually, as many have mentioned, they're going to keep working, but now unlicensed, unregulated, and off the books. And to me, this is not a win for the state of Texas. This is a loss of tax revenue, a loss of consumer protection, and a loss for every small business owner who built something real and has been working hard in the state. Texas talks a lot about being open for business and getting government out of the way, and I believe in that as well. But this rule seems to be doing the exact opposite. It puts a government barrier between a skilled worker and their ability to make an honest living. I'm asking this commission today to speak about the real people behind the rule change. My clients are not just statistics. They are your constituents, your neighbors. They are your hairdresser, maybe, even the people that are keeping small businesses alive in communities across the state. Please, I'm inviting you along with others in this room to take a hard look at what this actually is costing the state of Texas. I'm actually concerned about the government growth impact statement that I'm reading in the document that I pick up at the door. Two of these bullet points are saying that this rule, it's not eliminating existing employee positions, and it's also saying that the proposed rules are not impacting positively or adversely affecting the state's economy. As we've been discussing the whole time here, we know that this is not correct, and I invite you to reconsider what we have going on. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Erica Zepeda? Karina Coronado? Gloria Leal? We'll start with Erica Zepeda.
Oh, hello. My name's Erica Cepeda. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to speak on behalf of our students. I am here on behalf of the Menn Barber School located in Austin and Round Rock. I would like to express our opposition to the proposed rule changes because we believe these changes would affect our students, our school, and the barbering industry in Texas. Many of our students have already invested time and money into their education. Changing the requirements while they are still in training could prevent them from becoming licensed despite their hard work and progress, not to mention all the people that have already completed their studies and will no longer be able to renew their license. As an institution committed to providing quality education and supporting the Texas workforce, we respectfully ask the Department of Regulation to reconsider these changes. Thank you for your time, and please take into consideration our comments.
Thank you. Karina Coronado.
Hola, buenas tardes.
Good afternoon.
Gracias por la oportunidad de poder alzar la voz.
Thank you for this opportunity of raising our voices
Y poder expresar nuestra preocupación por esta nueva ley.
to be able to express our worries about this new law.
Soy parte de la industria de la belleza.
I'm part of the beauty industry.
Represento a mi equipo en Casey Beauty Salon y The Men Barber Shop.
I represent the people in Katie Beauty Salon
Beauty Salon and The Men Barber Shop.
and Barbershop.
Hablo hoy en representación de muchas mujeres y hombres trabajadores que dependen de esta profesión para sostener a sus familias.
I am speaking on behalf of the many professionals that work in this industry to be able to provide for their families.
Tomando su tiempo y pues también parte de su economía para cursar sus horas requeridas para poder obtener sus licencias.
And they take and invest their time and the many requirements to be able to obtain these licenses
Para poder ellos rentar una silla, abrir un negocio
so they can rent a chair or open a business.
y pues ahora están con la preocupación de no poder renovar sus licencias o qué va a ser de ellos en un futuro.
And now, laid on them is a worry of being able to renew their licenses or what will happen to them eventually.
La industria de la belleza ha sido y es una una fuente de oportunidades para miles de personas emprendedoras.
The industry, the beauty industry, has been a fountain of opportunity of thousands of people to be able to provide for their families.
Y muchas de ellas pues empezaron desde cero construyendo sus negocios con sus propias manos.
And many of them have started from zero or with nothing at all and have built their businesses up to what they are today.
Para poderlo hacer de una manera legal en este país.
To be able to do it in a legal manner in this country.
Y pues también entendemos la importancia de las regulaciones y de las leyes de TDLR.
And we understand the regulations and the control needed by the Texas Department of Licensing.
Y pues esta en específica se ha sentido un poco, o bueno, muy restrictiva para esos pequeños emprendedores.
And this has become very restrictive for those new entrepreneurs.
Y pues bueno, detrás de cada estación nosotros ya convivimos con ellos, sabemos historias, su familia, qué representa seguir trabajando en esa estación, en ese lugar y seguir pues generando y soportando a sus familias.
And every single workstation, we have met and seen them and talked to them, and we know what it represents to be able to continue working and providing for their families.
Y les pido que consideren el impacto real que puede causar esta ley, pues para esa pequeña, para esa parte de nuestra comunidad que nos dedicamos a esta industria.
And I would ask you to reconsider or consider the true uh, impact that this new law or regulation would come to affect that section of the industry and our community that depends on this industry itself.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Leal?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
My name is Gloria Leal. I'm an attorney and consultant here in Austin, Texas.
You-
I'm also here representing,
Is the light green?
there it is. I'll start again. I'm sorry. Don't take it away from me. My name is Gloria Leal. I'm an attorney consultant here in Austin, Texas. I'm here representing LULAC, the League of United Latin American Citizens, which is the largest and most active organization advocating for Hispanics and other underprivileged individuals in the state of Texas. I am National LULAC General Counsel, but I'm also a director president of a local chapter, and we all vote. So the reason I'm here is to talk to you a little bit about the legal implications of this opinion. I don't think you've really heard them. You've heard about the economic and social consequences, the impact that the sudden loss of income will cause to workers, the closure of small businesses, the labor shortages will increase. And of course, there is a potential, and there will be, a growth of underground or unregulated work markets. The people that are currently eligible to obtain a license will no longer have that ability. And of course, there's going to be reduced tax income. And these revenue estimates that say no impact, that's what they all say in the beginning until it comes out. We all know, we work with the legislature. I wanted to remind y'all, I know I don't need to do, but one of the missions of the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation is to protect the health and safety of Texas and ensure that they are available, qualified professionals out there to perform the work that we all require in all the trades. If you decreased, how will this action increase that role? It's not consistent with the role. In fact, you're undermining the safety of all Americans here in Texas because you're basically now going to create an unregulated underground labor market like in third world countries. Is this where you want to go? But I want to ask you another question. Why are you doing this? An AG opinion is non-binding. It is non-mandatory. Why all of a sudden in 2026 are we reversing an AG opinion issued by the Honorable Senator John Cornyn, a former Supreme Court justice, to say that his foundation was unfounded? It's ridiculous. What we are really dealing here, and I'm not going to get into it, is a political issue. Here we have Paxton versus Cornyn. Didn't we just see that on Tuesday? Why would you want to do this? Furthermore, on legal grounds, why is this a state agency all of a sudden deciding to enforce immigration law? That's unconstitutional and violates the civil rights of our people here. Point to the legislature if you want. Further, this rule is outside the statutory authority of the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation. So they go to a statute in the family code, the mandatory child support provisions and other codes, and they come up with a foundation that is quite broad, non-specific, and not on point. Let the legislature decide. But by all means, do not get in political havoc because of a non-binding AG opinion when that person may not even be here in the fall. It's certainly not as AG. Thank you very much. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you.
Sorry. Thank you very much.
Next, we have Alur Navas.
Buenas tardes.
Good afternoon.
Mi nombre es Alemir Navas y en los actuales Alemir Navas.
Alemir Narvas is my name.
Gracias por la oportunidad de compartir estas palabras.
Thank you for the opportunity of sharing these words with you.
Quisiera comenzar señalando que hablo también desde una experiencia directa.
I want to comment that this is spoken from an direct opportunity.
Trabajo en el área administrativa de una escuela de cosmetología
I work in the administrative offices of a beautician academy,
y desde esa posición vivo muy de cerca los sacrificios que estas instituciones hacen cada día para mantenerse a flote.
and I speak from direct experience of what these academies go through to be able to survive in a day-to-day world.
No solo para mantener sus propios negocios, sino también para mantener empleo a las maestras y a todo el personal que allí labora.
Not only trying to keep afloat in today's economy, but to provide the salaries of all the people that work there, the teachers and the auxiliary personnel.
Pero sobre todo vemos algo que nos llama profundamente la atención y es la esperanza que tiene la comunidad hispana cuando llega a estas escuelas.
And it's not only that, but the hope that the Hispanic community and the Hispanic people that come to these academies with the hope of a better future.
Con frecuencia vemos madres que traen a sus hijas para inscribirse.
With a certain amount of times, we see mothers that bring their daughters looking for that opportunity for them in these academies.
Para muchas familias, estas formaciones representan una oportunidad para generar ingresos y aportar más a la economía familiar.
In many opportunities, these teachings or this training will provide for more income to the family income as a whole.
Para ellas estudiar cosmetología estética no es solo aprender un oficio.
For them to study academic beauty aesthetics is not only an opportunity to study,
Es una puerta hacia la estabilidad, hacia un futuro mejor y hacia una mejor familia.
it's a door to the stability of a better life and family provision.
Por eso cuando se adoptan medidas que limitan el acceso a las licencias,
That is why when a requirement is placed that limits the opportunity to obtain these licenses, it
Para-
comes to affect our community.
para personas que ya estaban en procesos de formación,
For people that were already in that process of being trained and formed,
son decisiones que impactan las aspiraciones y las esperanzas de la comunidad hispana.
these are decisions that impact the community and the Hispanic families.
Antes que nada, reconocemos el rol fundamental del TDLR
First, we want to recognize the role of the Texas Department of Licensing,
cuya misión es proteger la salud, la seguridad y el bienestar público.
which is to protect the health and safety of the community.
Por lo tanto, es esencial mantener a las personas y las profesiones reguladas.
That is why there is a need to keep the people and the professions licensed and controlled.
Y atendiendo a esa misión,
And following that mission,
es fundamental considerar el impacto económico, social y laboral de las nuevas políticas regulatorias.
it is very important to consider the impact of each one of these new regulations.
Recordemos que a Texas muchas personas llegan
We must remember that to Texas, a lot of people come
gracias a su capacidad de atraer talento, esfuerzo y emprendimiento.
Thank you to their ability and their training and different, I got lost here, different opportunities that are found in this state.
Atendamos por favor a esa misión de Texas.
Let's attend to that mission from the state of Texas,
Siendo también un estado que favorece la movilidad económica,
being a state that also favors the economic mobility.
y ayudemos a mantener el crecimiento sostenido del estado.
May we help to sustain the economic impulse of this state.
Esto no es un llamado a relajar los estándares.
This is not a call to relax the standards.
Es un llamado a respetar las ideas que inicialmente tuvimos cuando permitimos aceptar personas en las condiciones legales ya anteriormente mencionadas. Muchísimas gracias.
It is only a means to continue to accept the people that have been accepted legally in these conditions.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So it looks like we've heard from everybody who has signed up to speak. Thank you for everyone who has taken time to speak here today. I'll turn it over to Commissioner.
Thank you, Council. At this time, seeing no one here trying to make additional comments from the public, at this time, I'll take a motion to adjourn the meeting. Commissioners, Chair,
So moved.
Second.
for the record, please.
Dr. Wesson.
Chairman Figueroa.
Chairman Figueroa moves, seconded by
Dr. Wesson.
Dr. Wesson. All in favor?
Aye.
The motion passes, and at this time, 2:08, the meeting is adjourned.